let's begin. Chapter 20. The greatest mistake in seduction is being too nice. I mean, it's literally saying the greatest mistake. And I can say this for even having employees. Like, I made that mistake with my employees where I was too nice. I mean, I'm in Mexico, I want to treat them well. But what I notice is that when you're too nice, people don't take you seriously. Meaning you say come at 12 and they'll come at 12:05, for example, that type of stuff. Like, having more rules, for some reason, people respect you more when you have a lot of rules. At first, perhaps your kindness is charming, but it soon grows monotonous, right? At first, it's charming, but over time, it's what pushes them away. You are trying too hard to please and seem insecure. Even if you're doing it for good reasons, people will interpret that as weakness. I mean, it's just like, it's just people, man. Instead of overwhelming your targets with niceness, try inflicting some pain. Rather than being nice. For example, with my employees, I always let, I mean, I was so bad as a boss. I was just too nice. I always let them leave early sometimes when they were done. But what I noticed is that if you make them work harder than they want to, they respect you more. They come to work more on time. When you demand more of people, they give you exponentially more. Not at the same rate of you assuming that if I demand a little and just demand a little bit more, I'll get a little bit more. It's like, no. Demanding a little bit more, you get way more off of people, especially if you come from the place of niceness. Instead of overwhelming your target with niceness, try inflicting some pain. Lure them in with focused attention, then change direction, appearing suddenly disinterested. This is what cult leaders do, where they get you to, on the first meeting, right, where they have all of their cult members and they draw you in and they're nice and they're accommodating. And as soon as you get comfortable, then they start acting cold. As soon as they get comfortable and as soon as you get acclimated to the group, then they start being harsh, being a little bit inconsistent, uninterested. And they do that to break you down. Because you invest, oh my God, they accept me, I can let my guard down. And then they start criticizing you. Hey, you're too different. Hey, why are you thinking differently? Hey, why aren't you more on time? And because you already got used to their acceptance, now they're mad at you. Now you do anything to go back to where you were. It's like my channel, my women's channel, it used to get 10,000 views per video. All of a sudden, it started getting 2,000 views per video. I don't fucking know why. And now back then I was like, man, I wish I could get 70K views per videos. Now I wish I could get 8,000 views per video. It's some bullshit, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like you do act nice, that's true, but then you take it away. So that then they could work for that. You're letting them know that you were nice at first, good, but it's not how I'm going to be the whole time. You got to work for that. What you got the first time, you got to work for it. It's almost like an addict, where a drug addict will how can I say this? He'll get that first high from that drug, and then he'll work his whole life to get that high, right? So that's why at first, yeah, you do get them. You do draw them in with niceness. But then you switch up every now and then. You give them a harsh criticism based on something real, and it has to be something real. And this is the beauty about it. You don't have to play games with people. People will eventually fuck up. People will eventually make mistakes. It's just human nature. They're going to make mistakes. And when that happens, the problem with nice people, what he talked about, is that when people make mistakes, they don't know how to call them out. That's the problem. Is that he's saying don't be too nice, meaning there's gonna come a point where you gotta stop being nice and you gotta be hard on them. The problem with nice people is that it's a default mode. You gotta learn when it's time to stop being nice and say, hey. So how do you do this? Well, for example, with me, I was hiring people. I told them, hey, you could be just arrive on time. You let me know when you can come. And you let me know for how long you could come. And that lack of structure caused people to literally be late for me because they were at another job that paid them less, but that had more structure. Like they would literally show, you can't make this up. And I was like, wait. Let me read this book. So it's really about having rules, even if you think they are unnecessary. Even if you think they're not necessary. Have certain ways of people treating you. Even if, for example, like, as a guy, yeah, I could kiss a girl on the first date, but I don't like that no more. I like to wait on the second date. Having rules, as it may not seem necessary, but having structure or rituals that you follow consistently and that they have to follow leads to rules. For example, if I have a meditation group, having people come and meditate is fine. But if I give them rules and rituals, when you come, sit, look at that, and it's an example, bow, and then say this prayer, and then we could start the meeting. Those rules, you may not notice, but having those rules will lead people to come more on time, to be more devoted to the group. Like, you get what I'm saying? So so that's why, unfortunately, if you're the type of person that is laid back, that is forgiving, you're gonna make this mistake. You have to inflict pain. And the pain comes in having them do things that they otherwise don't want to do, as long as it's legal. Like, for example, every time you come here, take your shoes off. For example, you may not want to take your shoes off, but do it. That takes extra effort. What it does psychologically, having them have hoops, it gives you aura. Like they're following your rules on the little things, and they don't notice how it affects how they perceive you in a more general way. It's truly a powerful thing. It makes people more compliant to you. So let's keep reading. Instead of overwhelming your targets with niceness, lure them with focused attention, then change directions. Because remember, again, I'm telling you this because this is not something you have to all of a sudden change directions. People at first are always on their best behavior. You know, they're going to make mistakes. Like, that's just going to happen. They're going to make mistakes. And when they make their mistakes, you pull away. Even instigate breakup. See, that's a toxic part, right? There you go, right? If they don't make mistakes, instigate. But they're going to make mistakes. Like, that's the thing. And so you got to just be willing to call them out. Subjecting them to an emptiness and pain that will give you room to maneuver. So their emptiness and their pain allows you to play the game better. Now, an approachment, an apology, a return to your earlier kindness will turn them weak at their knees. It's like when somebody fucks up. Like, I remember, you know, I don't talk about this in a nice way. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love every person that worked with me, that I've ever worked with, but I had to let go of a few people a few times, and one of them asked to get the job back, and you know, I'll take it back. And I remember when I took them back, he was really like, he was on time. I mean, because he saw that I was pissed off that he was late. Like, he just, or dang, a no-show. Dude, I'm such a bad boss. And when he came back, he was like, okay, this guy's not fucking around, my fault. And ever since then, had him working. Like, he hasn't made a mistake, but I had to fire him, you know? And I don't say that as a bad thing. Like, that's just how it is. It was my mistake to give him the impression that I was this super nice guy. It was my mistake. And my mistake was because I don't have structure that they can sense, that rules, you know, like create hoops that they have to jump through. Even though you may not think it's necessary, create those hoops. You know, that's why like I enjoy women say come over. When I say to a woman come over and she comes over, but if you give her hoops to jump over, like if the woman gives the guy more hoops and says, no, you got to take me out first and then do this and then come over, those hoops indicate to a guy that you have self-respect. And it may not seem what it says is that, hey, I have patience. Hey, I have options. Hey, I'm not that easy, right? Hey, I have self-respect. Even as a guy, like I tell guys, like if you could kiss a woman on the first date, kiss her on the second date. Show her that you're willing to wait. The lower the lows you create, the higher the highs. to heighten the erotic charge, create the excitement of fear. Don Mateo and Conchita Perez. I don't know, let's go to the thing right here. Okay, here it is. Oh shit. Your seduction should never follow a simple course upward toward pleasure and harmony. The climax will come too soon, and the pleasure will be weak. What makes us intensely appreciate something is previous suffering. It's the difference between somebody going abracadabra, this is how you shoot a basketball, and then you could shoot the basketball, versus you working on it and building it over months. It's a completely different thing. You gotta have people suffer. Like, if people are working for me, an example, rather than say, well, how many hours can you work today? You let them know from 8 to 5. And so that means at 3 p.m., she may or he may want to go home, but you got 2 more hours left. You got to respect my rules. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, a nice person will say, oh, you can go home, it's no big deal. But I promise you, this person has less respect for you, less fear. It's just how it is, you know. But with relationships, we seem to like have no rules for people a lot of the times. We just have no rules, and we let them do whatever they want to do because we like them. It's like, no, you can't let people just do whatever they want, even if you want them to. Set some rules, even if you know they're going that way. Set some. At least have a sign that says that way. Make them feel your presence in every place. Not be abusive, but you know what I mean. A brush with death makes us fall in love with life. A long journey makes a return home that more pleasurable. Your task is to create moments of sadness, despair, anguish. You're like a writer. I mean, you're a writer. And they're reading a book, and that book is the experience that they're having with you. Come on, include some fear, include some suspense, include some Bronx mode. No Bronx mode, but include something, right? Have that riveting chapter. Have that next time on Dragon Ball Z. Your task is to fall in love, a long journey, return home that much more pleasurable. Your task is to create moments of sadness, despair, anguish, to create the tension that allows for a great release. Do not worry about making people feel angry. Anger is a sure sign that you have their hooks in them. Oh yeah. See, this is where people pleasers can't do this. They don't want to make people angry. That's a real thing. They don't want to hurt people. That's a real thing. Oh, if I cancel, they're going to be so sad. Oh, for example, somebody says, hey, boss, can I get off early tomorrow? Because I got a party to go to, for example. Right? If I'm a boss, right? Like, no, you got to get this work done. Me being nice, I'm like, well, I don't want them to miss a party. Okay. No, make them suffer. I know that. First of all, you can't do this to be masochistic. I'm just giving you guys an example, right? Just an example. I'm not saying, like if they want to go to a party, come on, man, let them go. But you get what I mean, right? You got to have rules. You gotta say no every now and then. Do not worry. So that means sometimes don't respond. Make them a little scared. Pull away every now and then, right? Like you wanna, as long as you don't have evil intentions, because the truth is that it's the intention that matters, right? It's the intention, not what you do, but why you're doing it. If you're doing it to just give them a good time and make the relationship spicy and make them like you, that's great. But if you're doing it just to be manipulative, to be mean, to get revenge, that's when it's gonna turn on you, and they're gonna play that game back, but with evil. For example, if I was acting suspicious with my girl for the last 2 days because I was planning a surprise party for her, she's gonna be okay with it. She's gonna be like, man, you did all of that for my birthday, man. I knew you were up to something. That's good. Right? You thought about it. You made them say, oh my God, is he cheating on me? Oh no. Or like, oh, but is he leaving me? He's been acting weird, right? Oh, sorry, baby. I got to go. I got to go eat. Oh, I got to go to sleep early. You're like, is he losing interest? And then the next day, surprise. I know it's painful. I know it hurt to make your girl sad. I know that. I know she was like, she went to sleep thinking, what the fuck is going on? And then, yeah, of course. But that people understand that. And that's how you play that symphony of love. Like it's something that you work on. Do not worry about making people feel angry. Anger is a sure sign that you have your hooks on them. Nor should you be afraid that if you make yourself difficult, people will flee. No. We only abandon those who bore us. It's like LeBron. Every offseason, LeBron is doing some drama. I want to be traded. Now I want to be traded. Just doing cryptic shit. And that keeps people entertained. Being dramatic. Sometimes you got to learn how to instill some drama. Learn from the Puerto Ricans. Dominicans too. But I'll be honest with you, Dominicans I think Dominicans are more ghetto. I don't like Puerto Ricans be ghetto shit, but Dominicans, man. Oh, Dominicans be getting. Anyways, man. The rides of which you take your victims can be torturous, but never dull. At all costs, keep your targets emotional and on edge. Create enough highs and lows, and you will never wear away the last vestiges of their willpower. Let's go right here. So we're gonna read this one, and then we'll finish for today. And then, in social situations, we all wear masks and keep our defenses up. It is embarrassing, after all, to reveal one's true feelings. As a seducer, you must find ways to lower their resistance. The charmer's approach of flattery and attention can be effective here, particularly with the insecure, but it can take months of work and can backfire. To get a quicker result and to break down more inaccessible people, it is often better to alternate harshness with kindness. Napoleon used to do that a lot. He would when a platoon of men were acting cowardly, and he will only do this when they were really being cowardless, to be honest with you. He wouldn't do this all the time, but he would do it rarely. He would fire all of them. But then, on rare moments when a platoon was fighting bravely, he would promote someone out of nowhere in a very public way. And so they saw that Napoleon was willing to fire everyone in one go, or make someone's career in an instant out of nowhere. And that inspired a crazy amount of loyalty to Napoleon. Or better yet, like, I was gonna say slave masters, not a good explanation. Slave masters. It's like the parent, right? Shitty parents, but they are parents. Parents who rarely praise their kids and rarely punish their kids. Not rarely praise their kids, but they rarely give praise. But when they do give praise, it's crazy fucking praise. And they do punish harshly, but not all the time, but only when you fuck up, right? When you give that mix, you keep your child on edge. And I don't think it's healthy. But in terms of motivation, it's extremely healthy. It's like a teacher who rarely praises you and rarely criticizes you. But when you really fuck up, they criticize you. And when you make a really good job, which is rare in their eyes, but when you do, they go out of their way to praise you. Those extremes of extreme pain and then extreme pleasure creates devotion. You just got to make sure that you don't praise people too much and you don't criticize them too much, right? Reserve those moments, those tools for when they really fuck up or for when they really do well. And it just adds that memorable thing. By being harsh, you create inner tension. Your targets may be upset with you, but they also asking themselves, what have they done to earn your dislike? Right? When you then are kind, they feel relieved. but also concerned that at any moment they may somehow displease you again. Right? I mean, we can all see how that works. Make use of this pattern to make them in suspense, dreading your harshness and keen to keep you kind. Your kindness and harshness should be subtle. Very important. It could just be a cold look. It could just be indirect digs and compliments are best. For example, have you guys seen Game of Thrones when Daenerys was being shown to the guys in the horses, and he was like, "All right, they're coming," and they came and they just looked at her for like 5 seconds in their horse, and then ran away, and then they left, and the guy was like, "Hey, he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. Did he like it?" And they were like, "They didn't say they didn't like it, so yeah, they liked it. They just looked at her, and then left." That's that type of stuff where sometimes I get this with I had a boss who would do that a lot, where they would just look at you like, they'll never say, "Oh, good job." They're like, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, oh, okay, you're getting it now." And they're like, okay, right? Like, they reserve certain reactions for certain things. Don't reserve your crazy compliments for any little thing, right? Reserve it for the real good things. Stop giving out your validation for everything. Make use of this pattern to keep you in suspense. Your kindness and harshness should be subtle. Indirect digs and compliments are best. Play this psychoanalyst. Make cutting comments concerning their unconscious motives. You are only being truthful. Then sit back and listen. Your silence will goad them into embarrassing admissions, leaven your judgment with occasional praises, and they will strive to please you like dogs. It's true, man. All right, man. We might finish this chapter later tomorrow, and let me know what you guys think about this, man. You guys be safe.